Well, excuse me, princess.
My country lay within a vast desert. When the sun rose into the sky, a burning wind punished my lands, searing the world. And when the moon climbed into the dark of night, a frigid gale pierced our homes. No matter when it came, the wind carried the same thing. Death. But the winds that blew across the green fields of Hyrule brought something other than suffering and ruin. I coveted that wind, I suppose.
The history of light and shadow will be written in blood!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Hello, I am your host, Xwing, with a brand new show with our buddy Johnny. It is the first ever Zeltalk over here in the Hangar Bay. How you doing today, Johnny?
I'm doing good. I think it's hilarious that everywhere I go, they call me Zeltroid, regardless of the fact that I want to be called Johnny. Then I finally get on a Zelda pod, and he calls me Johnny. I appreciate it. But nah, it's good to be here, man. It's nice to talk about somebody who just like genuinely loves this, and we could just nerd out about like one of our favorite franchises ever, man. I'm so ready for this. So
100%, man. Yeah. And nobody else talks about Zelda on the internet. That's the great thing. We're like the first people ever, you know. It was your channel first, and then now me. So I feel like
I don't,
pioneer,
to be fair, I don't really see many pods of people just like nerding out, just talking about how much they love it and stuff. Like, I mean, I know they're out there. I know they're out there, but like in our corner of the internet, you don't see it too often. So no, this should be awesome.
It's a happy place. We're not usually part of happy places. It's usually more screaming and anger and, you know, cuss words and stuff like that. But no, this should be good. I'm excited for it. We got all kinds of stuff lined up for today. I'm going to say what's up to the chat. And there it is. It starts right off the bat. What's up, Clown Pilled, says Beardo Fat. Freddie Yankoba says Beardo Gay. Soundwave says 199 Beardo Tardo. All right, we can't get away from it. It doesn't matter what we do. We can't get away from it. What's going on? Fifth Down Sports. Good to see you here. King's Advisors. What's going on? Alan 456 is in the chat. Good to see you. Troubled Greens is here. What's up, eh? Escapo is here. Pywacket is here. What is going on? NFL, good to see you. Ladybug 22, hello. Nick Murfakri says, nah, you're lying. I'm not lying. This is real. This is happening. DXC Cam is in the chat. What's going on? Saku Kocho is here. Hello. Soundwave Superior Gig Giggity is in the house. What's up, Gig Giggity? What's going on? Fired Up Gaming. Good to see you, brother. John Ambler, my brother, is here. Good to see you, man. Hope you are doing well today. What's going on? Dengar Renegade Harmonic 411. Good to see you. And who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Casey Cheeto's in the chat. What's up, Casey Cheeto? For a 2 says, oh, that's what Johnny looks like. He's on camera all the time.
Not for, well, it depends where they came from. Not for my basketball channel or Zeltroid, a matter of fact. Never, it's always voiceovers. So,
yeah. Gotcha.
Depends on where they found me.
The homie Fear the Beardo is in the chat. What's up, Beardo? Good to see you, brother. Arturo C is here. Alan C 1701 is in the chat. What's up, Alan? Good to see you, brother. Can Man is here. What's up, Can Man? Good to see you, brother. The infamous, the lovely, incomparable Joe Rosie is here. What's up, Joe Rosie? Holy Fook is in the chat. What's going on? Marianne B, good to see you. Aaron Goldstein is here. Says, hail chat and Pedro Pascal. Come on. Come on, man.
Peter Pascal, okay? He's the American Peter
Pascal.
Peter Pascal. Yeah, exactly.
With half of the social anxiety. Yeah.
And less
Jessica
touching
Haggerty's
women
here.
that aren't his. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I'm actually married, believe it or not. So, yeah. Redfield 23 is here. What's going on? Leanback is here. Johanna Vikic. I can never say it right. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Good to see you. Rabnad Skubla is here. Seb P is here. What's going on, Seb P? Okay, did I get everyone? Liberturd Freegason is here. What's up, Libturd? Mark Andre Roy is in the chat, and I believe that's everybody. Good to see you all. Hello. I was totally expecting maybe 10 people to be here, and we've already got 70. We haven't even done anything yet. So welcome.
Let's go.
Zeltalk. Holy cow. What a start, huh?
I guess if we're talking about the start, is when we should get into our first point, which I can't wait to hear it from the chat too, because that's
yes.
So we're talking about what we love Zelda, but like Xwing, where did it start for you? What was your first Zelda game?
I remember a time long ago when everyone else was finding out what boners were. I was parked in front of a Nintendo 64, plugging in the cartridge of Ocarina of Time. That was my first Legend of Zelda game. Ocarina of Time. And I got to tell you, man, that game was formative in not only just like my youth and my persona and how I view like what kind of person you should be and everything like that, but also absolutely formed the style of storytelling that I've come to enjoy, the type of video games that I've come to enjoy.
For sure.
I am 100% all open world sword, everything. Like those are my favorite games in the world. And, Ocarina of Time, you want to talk about like a banger first one to start with, man. That is a linchpin in the Legend of Zelda legacy.
Yeah, because I know in like current day, it isn't necessarily seen as like the most open world game, because technically there is like a little bit of a linear progression. You go to this temple, and you go to this temple, you go to, but still, like you got all this Hyrule in front of you. You got all these different Skulltulas everywhere, all these little tunnels and stuff. I mean, it was when it came out, it was mind blowing. That was awesome. That was a good time. My first Zelda game, my dad was a gamer, so it was the first Zelda game. It was The Legend of Zelda on the NES, and then obviously A Link to the Past soon after that. I guess I was kind of playing those simultaneously, like alongside of each other, because by the time I was old enough to like play the games, probably 1994 is when I like first started playing them.
Yeah.
They were both out at that point. So, but yeah, I loved those two games so much. Going from A Link to the Past to Ocarina of Time was an awesome experience because I blew my mind by how much the world blew up. But there was certain things that disappointed me about Ocarina of Time. It's still like my favorite game ever.
Talk about it.
Because I was coming from Link to the Past, I was just like, man, like I had my own idea of like what's up to be heading into that. I still remember like one of the things that happened. So you're young Link, you get the 3 stones, Master Sword, you fly forward in time 7 years, all that. And you come outside of the Temple of Time and you just see that Hyrule's fallen. And it's just like there's the re-deads are just screaming at you and everything. Dude, I was so horrified as a kid. So horrified. And then I expect you walk out and find Ganon's castle. Hyrule Castle is just Ganon's castle. I expect all of Hyrule to be like this. All of Hyrule to be like
right,
the castle.
Right.
Because I had played A Link to the Past, and you had the light world and dark world. So I was like, oh, okay, this is the light world, dark world kind of thing. Wow, the whole world. And then you walk out and it just starts the like happy morning theme. And you're just like, wait a minute.
Everywhere else is fine?
He just absolutely destroyed and laid waste to Hyrule Castle and the courtyard, like specifically. But then you get to Kakariko Village and, people are chilling. You still got, the construction dudes just running around and all that.
Plugging along. Yeah.
Everything's fine. Yeah. That was one of like the few areas where I was just like,
You know what's funny? I've never even thought of that.
Yeah, really.
Never even occurred to me. Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if I would have thought of it if I hadn't gone through A Link to the Past first and kind of had that expectation of like drawing those parallels between the Dark World and Light World. So yeah, but with that being said, I mean, I'm kind of nitpicking here. Like Ocarina of Time's just arguably the GOAT in a lot of people's minds. You kind of had to have been there. Yeah, you kind of had to have been there to really appreciate like what it was at the time. Because I know some people look back at it and it's just like it's an eyesore with its jagged edges and everything. It's like if you don't understand like how good it looked in 1998, you're just not gonna appreciate it.
Yeah, the idea of just like walking out somewhere and that theme starts, and it's like the field's open, and you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And the game's just like, figure it out, I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Like, what?
That is one thing that's like, I guess just frustrated me about like more modern Zelda games, but just gaming in general is just like, let me figure it out, because like you get one little hint if you take a little while from Navi. She'll go, hey, listen, she'll give you a little tip or something. But now it's like, here's your exact pointer. Here's your trail to get there. And
here's your objective marker. A pair of binoculars for you to mark where you need to go. You're like, what?
Yeah. Am I crazy to say I kind of miss feeling stuck in video games? Like,
I was gonna say that is one thing that like, and I enjoyed it, like playing Ocarina of Time, where you're like, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what to do. I've tried 1,000 things, nothing is working, and then randomly you throw a Deku nut somewhere and a ladder drops down. You're like, how was I supposed to figure that out?
Do you remember a specific spot like where you were stuck for a while?
100%. It was inside the Deku tree when you have to use your slingshot to drop the ladder to get back out of that room.
Yeah,
I was there, and the funniest part was, so there's a guy named Kryzen who's doing an updated Unreal Engine 4 or 5 version of Ocarina of Time, which I'll share a little bit of it. I did it back when I had a gaming channel. I was playing it, and you will never guess where I got stuck again. I got stuck in that same stupid room for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, well, how do I not I've played this game 47 times. How do I not remember?
Yeah. Chat saying Water Temple, of course. We all got stuck in the Water Temple for a while.
Who doesn't love the Water Temple? So I haven't played it myself, but I've heard in I think it's the 3DS version, whatever the upgraded version was, there was like a quick deselect for your boots. Mm-hmm. Is that true? Do you know?
In the 3DS version, yeah. They did some quality of life improvements. There's also like when you're in the middle section of the Water Temple, and remember when that like block floats up and there's like and there's the hole that you're supposed to go in, which leads to a room, which leads to a key. And if you were not paying attention at that cutscene on the Nintendo 64 version, it might take you forever to find that hole that you need to go into to access rooms where you get the key. Otherwise, you're stuck. You're not going anywhere. But in the 3DS version, they like pause and like really zoom in on it and like just hold that for a while, and they're like, "This is the answer."
Yeah.
And it's a little bit easier for a variety of reasons on the 3DS version.
So, what are your thoughts on this? So, I'll let you start off here, but this is totally just a passion project of one guy. He's going into Unreal Engine, he's mapping all this stuff and creating it from scratch. And I know, we'd kind of briefly talked about it in backstage. This is peeving a lot of people off.
If it's a fan-made project, I don't get why it's peeving a lot of people off, to be honest. I mean, he can put any sort of spin or that sort of thing as he wants on it. Yeah. I think it looks cool. I am looking at it though, and I'm going like, it depends if you want do you want just like a total remake where they change the map and blow up the map and expand it, or are we trying to make it like shot for shot, frame for frame? Here's a slope here, here's some stairs here, and that sort of thing. Because I am having a hard time. Like obviously this is Zora's domain, but looking at this, like I'm having a hard time like matching it in my mind.
Like you take a left here, go up the stairs. There's a torch right there.
Yeah. So from that sense, it's cool, but it does feel very different in that way.
Yeah. So he's gone through and he's remade a bunch of stuff. I think he's worked his way all the way up to Kakariko and like heading to Mount Doom at this point. Personally, I don't.
Death Mountain. Same thing.
A tale of two fandoms. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So I mean, personally, I think it's great. Like you said, if this is a passion project from a fan, who cares, man? You know what I mean? I'm just shocked he hasn't been nuked by Nintendo yet.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It'd be like, you guys don't have to be hating on it because Nintendo is probably gonna try to get him sooner or later. So
yeah,
I hope he's able to finish it because I think it looks really cool. And why are you going to nitpick it? Because obviously it's not an official remake or anything. So it's like, you could just choose not to acknowledge it if you're not into it.
Speaking of remakes, do you believe the hype that we're going to get an Ocarina of Time remake earnestly in your soul?
I don't, not yet. I think it's a little bit of hype right now. It's not like a ton of hype. It's not like there's really credible, huge leakers talking about it yet. There's just a little rumors and stuff. I will say there's a little bit of evidence to give us reason, to think that it might be happening. But I'm talking small details. Like on Nintendo's official Twitter account, or X account, whatever, they just put out original art for Ocarina of Time. So it's like, why are you doing that? They released a Lego set for Breath of the Wild and for Ocarina of Time recently. Why are you doing that?
Do you know what the Lego set? I didn't see the Lego set.
It was the Great Deku Tree. And,
really?
It's sick, dude. It's really cool. I think it's very expensive, like most. Yeah, like most Lego sets.
$250 or something.
It might be more than that, to be honest, because it's a big tree. But it's beautiful. If you look it up, it's super cool.
I'm going to.
But yeah, there's just a lot of small things that are kind of feel like maybe this is leading to. Some people are speculating even the casting of the movie because there is an age gap between the actress that plays Zelda and the actor who plays Link. Right. And so some people are thinking, well, maybe there's some sort of time jump where he grows into the role, or follow Ocarina of Time. I don't really buy that one, but as far as the merchandising and the images they're putting out there, I'm like, they are giving Ocarina a lot of love lately.
This, however, is the Wild Series Deku Tree.
Yeah, there's two of them. They put out a Wild Series and they put out a Ocarina of Time one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which that's the other thing. Nintendo is always very strategic with their merchandising. Right. If they don't have if you can't play Twilight Princess right now, if that's not on NSO or anything, they're going to pretend it doesn't exist, but they'll shove, other old Zelda games that you can buy remasters to down your throat, because at the end of the day, they're a business trying to make money. So again, just the fact that they're doing Ocarina of Time stuff, just where there's smoke.
This is a 2-in-1 set. That's what the Lego set is.
Oh, you get them both together for $300.
Yeah, dude. So here, hold on.
You making a purchase, Xwing?
No, God, man, I have to feed a child, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be in the cart already. But yeah, $300 and you get both. So there's your Piranha Plant and your Breath of the Wild one. Oh, I didn't even see that back there. Nice. What's his? I can never remember his friggin' name.
Hestu?
Hestu, thank you. Yeah,
yes.
The Deku Nut Eater.
Yeah. Him and his little dances. Yeah, no, it's super cool. So I don't know, but beyond the rumors, would you want that? Would you want a remake?
No. It's hard because I'm perfectly happy with Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. I'm happy with it on an emulator on my computer. You know what I mean? I'm happy with it on the Switch. Those are all great to me. I can understand why somebody who didn't grow up with it would want a remake. And so I don't hate it for that. But I would much rather have them spend their time creating another project, a new project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't feel like traditional Zelda games with traditional items, with the hook shot, with your boomerang, with your, whatever, your hammer, go on and on with the items on top of your traditional structured dungeons. I don't feel like that's making a comeback anytime soon because Nintendo always follows the money, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom sold like crazy. Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom there was even one of their quarterly sales, which was really weird. After Tears of the Kingdom came out, it was like a year after it came out, where Breath of the Wild sold better than Tears of the Kingdom. And it's like, that's
Really?
not supposed to happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
made a video about it and everything. And so I don't know if Tears of the Kingdom is actually hanging on to the momentum, because people were acting like that game dropped off. Beardo, who was in the chat, was saying, doesn't it feel like this game fell off? Like, it was like big for a while, and then it just didn't seem to hang on to the momentum as much. And a lot of people were actually disappointed with it.
Yeah.
So I think the next Zelda game is really going to tell us a lot. Is it going to, if they stick with the Breath of the Wild style, how much are people still into this specific style of Breath of the Wild? Because, of course, the sequel following up Breath of the Wild is going to sell like crazy. And I did enjoy Tears of the Kingdom, but there was some ways where it definitely disappointed me.
Dude, you want to talk about disappointing? How about spending God knows how many hours 100%ing the deep, and then all you get is a stupid coin? They're like, good job, moron. Thanks for wasting your time. Here's a coin that does absolutely nothing.
To be fair, that's pretty in line with the history of Zelda. I mean, did you ever get all 100 gold Skulltulas in Ocarina of Time?
100%, dude. Yeah, you got to free all the little freaks in Kakariko.
Well, yeah, but then you get a gold rupee after there's nothing left in the game to buy. Yeah. You can keep getting a gold rupee over and over again, but it's useless to you because you beat the game and literally just completely done everything. So why do you
I would have at least thought we would have gotten, because they had like the armor of the deep or whatever with all the light bulbs all over it.
Yeah, the depths. Yeah.
I was hoping to at least get something really cool to like continue exploring it, but it was just a coin, nothing. It was it was like Miki's coin. It does nothing. I was frustrated, but
yeah. It's very weird. Nintendo doesn't seem to like the idea of being a completionist. Part of the, I remember when they were explaining it with the Korok seeds, like they don't necessarily want people to be killing themselves over trying to find every single Korok. It's more just like something you're meant to find and enjoy along your journey, but it's never meant to be the journey. So that's their view on it. I still think it's a little bit harsh to give me a golden turd as my reward for getting all 900 Korok.
Literally a piece of poop.
Yes.
It's a turd. Yeah.
It's Hestu's gift, and it's a golden swirly turd. Yeah.
It's a turd. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody in Japan was just like, oh. They're going to be so mad, bro.
Yeah.
So like the question begs, because Wilds was the whole Wild series was a huge departure from traditional Zelda. We had item integrity, which a lot of people had complaints. I was one of them when it came to item integrity. I understand that it adds an element of suspense and preparation and stuff like that. I totally get it. And then obviously you have the Ultra Hand and building all kinds of stuff and gluing things together. What was your initial, when you first walked into like Breath of the Wild, were you like shocked and irritated, or was it just something new and you were happy to try it?
I loved Breath of the Wild. I was more open to Breath of the Wild because Zelda games are not opposed to be getting gimmicky. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, like even Skyward Sword, it was very different, when it came out. And
the
like,
remote.
Yeah, or Twilight Princess, Link's a wolf now. Like,
yeah.
Majora's Mask, I'm literally fighting against time. Like, how suspenseful is this? There's been Zelda game after Zelda game where you could go, this isn't like the Zelda I know,
Yeah.
So getting Breath of the Wild, I was like, okay, we got shrines and not so much like traditional dungeons. That kind of sucks, but I'll accept it for this one-off Zelda game. And all right, like items kind of break and that sort of thing, but I'll accept it for this one Zelda game. And I just like the world was beautiful. I thought the divine beasts were great. I loved the memories and like Link regaining his memories. What I didn't enjoy when I really started getting frustrated with it was with Tears of the Kingdom, because it felt like there was just like a whole lot of copy and pasting. In the sense 100%. That like even like now it's the tears, which are the memories, which work the exact same way. So you know what you're getting as you beat each quote temple, and like the spirit temple was like a boxing match and that's it. Like it didn't feel like there was actually any puzzle solving.
Right.
You have to do this long journey to get to it. And so that was the point where I was like, all right, so now like between the release of these two games and waiting since Skyward Sword for these two games, you're looking at what, a total of like 11, 12 years in total. And So that was a point where I think some of the frustration came in, where I'm like, okay, I really want traditional like dungeons back. I'm a little getting a little weary of this setup and this model, because you'll accept it for a one-off, but I have hope that they're going to make a little bit of a return to that traditional format, because based on what I've heard from AG Enuma, it just sounds like when they made Breath of the Wild, it was almost like they weren't satisfied. Like they knew they could get more out of this game, and that's why they did Tears of the Kingdom, because they wanted to push its limits. So you had the Sky Islands, you had the depths, you had the creative aspect, you had the ascendability. Like they really pushed it to its limit.
Admittedly, Tears does feel, and I'm not saying Breath of the Wild feels like an incomplete game at all, but Tears does feel a lot more complete. Of like, holy, what are we doing? Let's hit some super chats really quick. Casey Cheeto says, oh, that's what Johnny looks like. Oh, we grabbed that one. Lean Back member for 8 months says, I still have the hand-drawn graph paper dungeon maps my brother and I made back in the 80s. It was the only way to navigate Death Mountain.
Let me add something real quick. Let me throw something in there real quick. If anybody who struggles with a water temple, because I know everybody talks about it, it's so hard, literally just draw a map. If you just draw a map as you go, it becomes so much easier. Because then you know exactly, okay, so the room on the left, on the bottom level, is the room that I ran into before there was a key door, and I couldn't, like, once you just literally draw it out, it's like, it's not that hard, dude. It's not that hard.
100%. I admittedly, I miss the days when, like, you had to have your magazine that had everything written down for the game. What were those things called? I can't remember.
Nintendo Power magazines were
there was Power, but they had something. It was like a game guide. I don't remember what it was. You used to be able to buy this thing. It was like a thick book. For the game guide. Those were awesome. Margaret Riggle, my friend, is in the chat, says, hello, my friend. How are you two guys this evening? I am well. I'm ecstatic right now. This is like, this is such a happy stream for me. Matt Cave Gaming is here for 5. What's up, buddy? He says, I walk in and Xwing calls Death Mountain Mount Doom. I still love you. Yeah, I know.
If I didn't love like Lord of the Rings and Zelda equally, I'd be more annoyed. But like, they're both
it's easy to do. Okay. It's easy to do. And then, holy cow, Noble Spitfire with the 100. Wow. Let's go, boys. I am all for the Zelda Talk unbeatable franchise. That's the kind of energy I love in here. You love to see it. And I made a video for Gifties. I didn't expect anyone was going to be doing anything like that. So we'll play the Gifties one. But holy cow, Noble Spitfire with 100.
That is amazing.
Shout out Noble Spitfire with the absolutely massive $100 donation. Thank you, Noble Spitfire.
Thank you.
Number one. Shout out. Yeah, that was incredibly gracious. Thank you very much. And welcome. Grab your Brigham.
You good?
Yeah, all good. And Panda Simone drops 5 gifted memberships. Shout out Panda Simone. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Holy cow, man. Incredible. I completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you got that 100 gifty, and now we're like all thrown off. Oh, we were talking about the game guides and drawing a map for like the water temple.
Oh, yeah. Now you just like pull out a cell phone and you're good to go.
Well, the funny, but see, that's the thing, especially for Zelda fans, man. When a new Zelda game comes out, my advice is go dark, man. Go Amish,
100%.
like just turn off your phone, stay off the internet. Leading up to the release of a Zelda game, absolutely convince your algorithm that you hate Zelda. Just say not interested, not interested, not interested. So it's not recommend anything when it comes out, because that's what I try to do. Because man, that is like playing a new Zelda game and just like being in a quiet place and like trying to figure out this puzzle and exploring like Hyrule and all that. Like, I don't want to be like interrupted. I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to like. Whatever you got to do to savor that moment, like do it, like disconnect, go dark. Like that's my advice. That's what I do. And it works out amazing for me. I make it so happy going through those games.
I'm pretty pumped. I obviously was a huge fan of the Nintendo 64 games. My brother hasn't really played anything since Twilight Princess, and so I just got him Breath of the Wild like 6 months ago or something like that. He finally got he's not really a techie guy. He got a Switch, and he started playing it, and we've been talking a little bit, and he's like, dude, I love this game. I absolutely adore it. And he's like, the thing that they nailed so perfectly with it. And I was the same way when I started. I'm like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I absolutely love this game. Because I'm such a fan of the open world, the environment that they create, that expanding that Hyrule field feeling that you got from Nintendo 64 to this gigantic map. And like, you know, the early game when you don't have any of the stuff and you can't go flying in the air and do all this kind of crazy crap, you got to pick a spot on a mountain and be like, whew, that's a solid 45-minute trot, to get over there and do what I need to do. You know what I mean? I absolutely loved it. So I was really bummed out and this is the reason I asked the questions. I had a lot of friends that were like, this is stupid. I can't stand this. Like what? They ruined my Zelda. You know what I mean? The ticker jumps. They were all mad. And for me, I thought it was lovely. But
our buddy Dan Bass says it all the time. Like, can Nintendo not do both? Like, if Nintendo was able to do traditional Zelda and open world Breath of the Wild style Zelda simultaneously, literally just have two teams.
It's not that hard.
Teams. Like, if they did that, everyone is happy. Literally, everyone's happy. Like, because I wouldn't be upset to see another Breath of the Wild style game. I'd be like, I'm getting my, Twilight Princess style game. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. I just wish they'd embrace that a little bit more. I think they tried in some way with Tears of the Kingdom, but my theory is like, you can't, like, my biggest complaint has always been the dungeons. I feel like the dungeons leading up to Breath of the Wild had always been traditionally half of the game.
Right.
Like, half of the game is open world exploring freedom. And then it turns into isolation, puzzle solving, like even like claustrophobic, but like in a cool way. Like, and it's that yin and yang. It's that they complement each other. But Breath of the Wild was just all of one thing, And so I'm hungering for that again. I'm thirsting for that. But with Tears of the Kingdom, I just think that was impossible for them to have, even though they like kind of tried it with these temples. They even called them the water temple, the fire temple, because basically it just comes to the fact that Link's too powerful for a traditional style dungeon. If you play Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time, you'll see a ledge that's 10 feet high, and you'll spend the next 30 minutes trying to figure out, how do I get up this ledge 10 feet high? When you're playing in Tears of the Kingdom, there's 2.5 million ways to get up there. You can climb it, you can bomb jump up it,
do whatever you want.
Build an aircraft and float up there, and underneath it and ascend up through it. Like, there's just, you have so much freedom to the point that it doesn't really feel like a puzzle anymore. It doesn't feel like a dungeon because there's no real challenge there.
I just feel like there's an easy fix with that. Like, in these ancient places, whatever, your Ultra Hand doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's guarded with a magical barrier.
Bad design. I've heard people call that bad game design, where they reward you with a new ability and then they're going to take it away from you. Some games do that, though. I mean, like, for a while you don't have your sword, and now you got to go stealth mission. And so I don't know. I would be for that instead, but I just almost hope they just dial it back a little bit. They have said, Eiji Aonuma did say they're done with Ultra Hand, and Ultra Hand was like the real game changer, where it's like, you can just build whatever you want and basically accomplish anything with it. And so with that now gone, maybe we're being reduced a little bit to where we can kind of get back to that traditional feeling a little bit more, but we'll see.
I think that was one. So like when it came to Ultra Hand, I basically tried to play the game without using that, like as much as humanly possible. I know a lot of people went crazy, like the Lego builders were making monoliths that shoot lasers and like just some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my life. I just tried my best not to use it whenever possible. The power I liked was punching through the ceiling. And then
Ascend was super cool, dude. And that was lovely. It was so cool. And like, I was looking at everything like big mountaintops, being like, okay, can I get in a cave to like shoot through?
Yeah.
To
How
the point
far
where-
can I go?
Yeah, to the point where it was like affecting me in the real world, where I see like some cave or some bridge overhead, and I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like, like it's so crazy where you just been doing something for too long, and now it affects the way you see everything. Like, it was just like any cave. I'm just like, oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, it's like we were talking about. It's one of those things. I really enjoyed them. I'm going back. I'm actually playing two simultaneously. I'm doing a replay of Wind Waker, but at the same time, I'm also replaying Breath of the Wild. And it's so funny when you're playing Breath of the Wild because you'll go to do stuff you could do in Tears of the Kingdom because it feels like the same game and it's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for the next one. I don't know. I feel like they're going to pull something out of their butt that none of us see coming. You know what I mean? I enjoy the idea of going back to an Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask style, like not linear, but God, what even is traditional for Legend of Zelda? I guess that's it, right? You get 3 things, fight a boss, find out you have to do a whole bunch more stuff, and then
I would say it boils down to
event.
I would say it boils down to 3 things for me, at least. Like traditional Zelda to me is, Link looks like Link, like, are we ever going to get his tunic back, his iconic tunic? I even have questions of if that's what he's going to wear in the movie. Because if he doesn't have that in the movie, I'm like, come on, man, that's been the iconic image of Link forever. That has to at least be there at one point, his iconic tunic. And so Link's got to look like Link. There's got to be traditional style dungeons and familiar items, that don't break. Like, because I mean, in almost every game, there was like, since like Link to the Past, there's always been a hook shot, long shot, claw shot, whatever you want to call it, change the name several times, but there's always been one of those. And now, like, you don't have that. Now you're just like using Rivali's Gale or something like that, instead.
Over and over and over. And then you wind up sitting there watching the top right of the screen, waiting for Rivali's Gale to finally charge back up so you can keep going.
Yeah.
I think totally lost my train of thought right there. For the movie, that's a touchy subject, dude. That's a really touchy subject. I think anybody who's a huge fan of Legend of Zelda is very worried about it. The casting was a good first step. That's what I feel like. Let me pull up the casting for, since we're on it, casting for Legend of Zelda movie. Images. This way we have it's all Hunter Schafer. You didn't get cast as Zelda. I don't know what to tell you. Here we go. CNN. Interesting. All right. Let's open this. Told myself I'd never go to this website ever again. But here we go. Share screen. Okay. So I thought this was at least a good first step, right? Mm-hmm. For me, this feels a lot more like a Twilight Princess casting than it does any of the other games. 100%. You got the darker haired Zelda. Unless they just bleach her blonde.
I always got the impression, though, that Link and Zelda were older in Twilight Princess, just more adults. She was stoic. She seemed mature. Like, she just had more of a woman's like physique and everything, and how she carried herself. And I think that was part of the original design, because when they were originally making Twilight Princess, it was intended to be a straight up sequel to Ocarina of Time, in the sense that you were still going to be the hero of time. It was going to be the same Link. And so
it's the same timeline, right? Because the main baddie gets his power from Ganondorf.
Well, yeah, and even the hero Shade, that's right. That's Ocarina of Time Link. That is the hero of time. And so, but they changed that. They were like, okay, well, we'll just have it be a new Link and all that. But I think they were just more mature. I don't know. I get more Ocarina of Time vibes than anything. But personally, I don't think it's going to follow any game specifically. I think it's going to be.
I pray that it doesn't.
I think it's going to follow its own story, and it's going to draw things from a bunch of different games. Is what I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah. And kind of what
we'll probably get the dragons. I imagine we'll probably get I don't see. This is the thing, though. Like, how much can you really stuff into a movie? Depending on they're doing 3 though, aren't they?
So maybe that hasn't been officially confirmed by Nintendo. There were people who were, quote, leaking that and treating it like it was fact, but that hasn't, to my knowledge, it hasn't been officially confirmed by Nintendo. So that's just what people seem to believe, is 3 movies all set up in New Zealand. And yeah, obviously going to be over the course of years. So he'll be able to grow into the role a little bit. And he'll be a much older Link by the time we're done with this.
It's just 3 is such a theme for Legend of Zelda in everything. I mean, the Triforce, when you play the games, it's always 3 things you got to gather to get, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, 3 tunics, 3 pendants, 3. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
So I don't know. Could be interesting.
You could literally name it like the Legend of Zelda, wisdom, the Legend of Zelda, courage, the Legend of Zelda, power, like that would be sick, dude.
That actually would be really cool. Speaking of which, so let's pull this up while we're talking about all that. I got to make sure I have it somewhere. You sent it to me. Let's take a look at the timeline really quick, because we have a couple things to talk about when it comes to the timeline. Number one, we had a Nintendo Direct, which is going to fit in pretty perfectly with what we're talking about here. But boom. Let's take a look at the timeline really quick.
Totally not convoluted at all.
Not even a little bit. So it starts out great. You're like, all right, Skyward, Minish, 4 Swords, Ocarina, and that's Ocarina of Time, because this is why you don't do time travel, folks. Everything explodes after Ocarina of Time. So you have a timeline where the hero's defeated, you have a timeline where the hero's successful, and then you have a timeline where Ganondorf is sealed, and he does he go back as an adult? Is that the hero of Wind in the New World?
Yeah, so like just think about how Ocarina of Time ends. You have the loser one, which is the one that goes to the left. So Link lost, which is depressing.
And this is like, I feel like this is where they dumped all the old games, basically.
Right, basically.
Yeah.
And then in the situation where Link wins, remember, Zelda plays the Ocarina of Time and sends Link back to the childhood timeline. So now there is a child Link in that timeline, and that's a continuation of that story. That's where you get like Majora's Mask. Yeah. But in that other timeline, now it doesn't have a Link, and there's a Link that has to come in the future. He'll be the new hero. So that's where it splits into the 2 timelines, and then they just added the third one, and Link takes an L apparently, and Ganon wins.
They're like, God, where do we put these games? Like, I don't know if you imagine if when it said game over, you just put the game away. That's that timeline.
That's
if you died once and just threw the game away, that's it.
Did you ever hear about, just piggybacking off of that, did you ever hear about the game Retro Studios was making? So the guys who made Donkey Kong Returns, they made Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and then obviously the Metroid Prime game. So that same studio, they were going to do a Zelda game, but ultimately it got canceled, and I'm so sad it got canceled because what it was going to be was you were going to play as Sheik. So Zelda going into hiding as Sheik immediately after the Fallen Hero timeline.
Really?
And it was set up like if you look it up, you can find art. Like you could find concept art around that game, and it was set up to be like the most dark kind of. I was
going to say Dark Hyrule,
survivalist like Zelda game we've ever seen. Like the mature tones in that, it would have been intense, man. And the fact that didn't and Retro's so good about like world building and like because they've done so good with Metroid Prime. Like if you haven't learned about the Metroid Prime story, first of all, go watch my videos. But you'll learn about it. So good, so good.
That would have been incredible, man. That's a Zelda game I can get behind. You know what I mean? I haven't played the new Zelda game. And I say Zelda game because these games should be Link games, right? I haven't played the new Zelda game yet.
Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah. I did really like it though. I
did
liked
you?
It. I really
liked it. It's on Switch, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's on the Switch, and it's the same engine that they used to create the remaster of Link's Awakening, which was also fantastic. And so, it was really good. It was different, but I tell you what, if you've been, hungry for a return to traditional dungeons, you got that with Echoes of Wisdom. Like Grayzo, the third-party studio that handled it, they did an awesome job with that, man. It was really nice.
Wicked. Okay, I might have to go play that then. So we have essentially these 3 timelines that split up that made up basically the canon. And then Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom show up, and they're just like, it's not really part of that. You're like, what? And they're like, yeah, it's not really, it's so far in the future that don't even worry about it. Like, okay.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how far in the future. It's rumored to be like something like 10,000 years. Like,
right.
basically it's so far in the future that anything can make sense if they want it to be, like through just like evolution and all that sort of thing, and rejoining of timelines and all kinds of Zelda and Link adventures along the way.
Except
And
Lon Lon Ranch looks exactly the same as it did 10,000 years ago. Just needs a little bit of a facelift. That's
right. And so, but I mean, the reason why they do that, and you know, I'd be interested to hear your opinions on this. My wife hates this, but Eiji Aonuma talked about, like, when they go into a Zelda game, they don't first come up with the story and then build a game based off of that. Mm-hmm. They figure out the kind of game they want to build. So they were looking at Tears of the Kingdom and they're like, we want a sky island. We want depths. We want you to be able to create things and all that. And then they write a story around that. And it kind of makes sense when you hear it that way, why everything is so freaking convoluted. Because they're like, now how do we make all this work? Like, you know,
that was like Midna was not even a thing. They had Link running around as Wolf Link, and they're like, that doesn't look interesting enough. Like, we got to put something on his back to make it more dynamic. Yep. That's how Midna was born. Like, it wasn't even a part of the thing. So that's kind of funny.
That happened because Midna's awesome. But But yeah, so I mean, but again, one of the reasons they did that is because in, you know, Breath of the Wild, you have the Rito, and you have the Zoras, but canonically, those do not exist simultaneously because the Zoras evolve into the Rito. Yeah, and so if you have them both in the same timeline, you're all like, all right, already Breath of the Wild doesn't make sense. And so they're like, let's just remove it by like 10,000 years. And there is actually an updated version of this timeline. If you find the image, it's probably like a really low quality image, but it's like shows the whole Zelda timeline with all the games. And then off in the corner, just like completely separate, is Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom way in the future where we just do whatever we want.
And beyond that, it created another timeline. Tears of the Kingdom actually creates another time. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but when Zelda goes back to the Beningi, that creates another separate timeline to the side of Skyward Sword.
Right. And see, that was the other thing that I just, oh my gosh, the disappointment with Tears of, I love certain things about Tears of the Kingdom. I did. I could go on about a lot of the things I loved. The descent into hell to fight Ganondorf. Right. The climb to the Wind Temple was one of the best experiences I've ever had in gaming. That was
badass.
That was so, and the music, oh my God. But one of the things I hated was when those cutscenes started and I was like, holy crap, they made the sequel to Breath of the Wild an origin story. We're getting an origin story. Well, and I am someone who am always preaching, like, Skyward Sword's way too hated on. I think that
I agree. It gets so much hate, but it's incredible.
I get with the Wii Wiimote, it was awkward. I even get that using a stick, you know, the joystick to like swing your sword and everything. It's weird. There's an adjustment period, but the game itself, it's beautiful, man. It's like, it's got a wonderful story. I really love the way they set up Link and Zelda in that one. Like, I've never cared as much about Zelda as I did in that one because the character development in the beginning is so good. The music, the lore's great.
It's a pillar. Yeah.
It arguably has the best music of any Zelda game. I mean, you can make an argument for a lot of games, but it's right there. So that game, I've said forever, that game is S tier Zelda game. If I had one complaint, is that like, maybe it's just like, I got a couple complaints, but one of my major ones is like, maybe it's just a little too cozy sometimes. Like, it's so cozy that it kind of lacks in like the depth and gravity and grit of like most Zelda games. Yeah. The only thing that was like close to that is like, man, that Spirit Realm where you have to like run around and collect the tears is like, it's terrifying. It's scary, dude. When they start chasing you and everything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you like get touched, you're dead. You're like, start back over. Yeah. For me, like Skyward Sword is absolutely and hot take here, sorry, but it's in like my top 3 of all time for sure.
Yeah.
The to your point, the music in that game, like the Gate of Time, I actually put on like when I'm working consistently. Mm-hmm. And now that we're all the way back, we're talking about Skyward Sword. We just got the Nintendo Direct, and our next game that we're getting out of the Zelda franchise is, I guess you call it a second party it's a third party game, but it's kind of second party because it's also part of the Nintendo franchise.
Yeah,
But,
so basically they did their partner showcases is where they have like basically parties outside of Nintendo making games and releasing it for the Switch. But sometimes it works where they have like a third party developer work hand in hand for one of their typically first party titles. That's what happened with Echoes of Wisdom. It was Grayzo that handled it, not just Nintendo. It was Grayzo, the studio. And now with this latest Hyrule Warriors game, which is Hyrule Warriors 3, but it's also like the first Hyrule Warriors game that's actually canon.
Right. That's the weird part. So Calamity was not canon. The original Hyrule Warriors is not canon. Sorry if I start roboting. I'm getting a internet dip here. But yeah, this is the only one that actually has any potential impact on the story.
Which is interesting. The first Hyrule Warriors was kind of just this celebration of all the Zelda games, leading up to that. And then Calamity wasn't even consistent at times with the story of Breath of the Wild. So it was more like a what if scenario leading up to it. And this one, no, just straight up, they're telling you want to find out what happened while Zelda was with Raru, in the in-between sections. This is it.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. This is not the ancient battle. So this is not before Skyward Sword with the original first ancient battle with Demise. This is after, but before Skyward Sword. So I don't know how this is all going to play out. I'm excited for it that it is canonical because it gives me a reason to play it, if that makes sense.
For sure.
The other one, the other ones were basically Dynasty Warriors with a Legend of Zelda skin on it, which is fine. I had fun with it. You know what I mean?
Are you a Ninja Gaiden fan?
I've never played them.
Oh my God, they're so good. But yeah, that's what it felt like to me, was just Ninja Gaiden meets Zelda, because I was like, the women are hotter than ever. Their boobs are big. Like the noises they're making, the art style, the how quickly everybody runs like a ninja. Even I'm just like, this is Ninja Gaiden meets. And that's just Team Ninja basically. And they were involved in the first one, and it was, I loved it. Because I knew going in it was something different, so I was happy to have something different. So we'll see. I hope it tries to. This one will try to tie up some of the loose ends and try to make sense of some of the questions that we had after Tears of the Kingdom. Because I had a lot, man. I was going in thinking, okay, I'm getting a sequel to Breath of the Wild. And I was like, okay, origin story. And the other thing that was weird about Tears of the Kingdom was, man, there were so many people, so many NPCs I was talking to. I'm like, why are they acting like we've never met before? I was just playing Breath of the Wild and we did so much together. Why are you acting like you don't know me?
Do you not remember?
Yeah, it's so weird. So weird.
But this Age of Imprisonment has a little Easter egg at the end of it. I'm going to play it. I'll see if chat can pick it up here. It was before that.
So yeah, you might want to rewind it even a little bit further. But
you do hear the noise right there at the end, but boom, that right there. If anybody who's a fan of Skyward Sword remembers, that's a very familiar character's theme.
Yes.
And so now, the speculation begins, right? Why are they playing that right here? Is this going to talk about how Hyrule was sent into the sky? Is this the beginning of... I always called her Fi, but I guess her name's Fi.
Yeah, technically it's Fi. Yeah, the pronunciation with the Japanese word, that would be Fi. Yep.
But... is this the first iteration of Fi? Is this them creating Fi or putting it in a body or what? What does it mean?
I'm not surprised that they're going this route, because they hinted at Fi multiple times in the last two games. With Breath of the Wild, after Link had presumably passed, and he goes into his 100 years of sleep, the sword starts glowing.
The sword talks.
And it communicates with Zelda.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, so Fi's talking to Zelda. She's
there.
Trying to let her know that he's still alive,
She even mentions it. She says, legends say that there is an ancient voice in the sword or something like that.
Yeah.
In one of the memories.
And then in Tears of the Kingdom, when Link gets the sword, it's right when you're about to take the plunge into, into Hyrule, basically, off of the sky. He passes the sword through time, and for a split second, they also play a little slow remix version of Five Steam. And so they've been flirting with this for a while. Like they definitely like whoever, the team that's developing the Breath of the Wild style games, they like Fi. We know that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see where they go with that.
But I mean, this, God, now this sets the mind ablaze with possibility. If they mess with Fi, this would then technically tie into Skyward Sword and create a loop, a canonical loop, tying in the loose end.
As long as they make sense of it, like I'm okay with that. I mean, listen, if they break it off into kind of like a multiverse, which you can argue that they already kind of have, doesn't that just give them more freedom to do whatever they want? Which Eiji Aonuma kind of made it seem like that's all they want anyway. Like, yes, I'm
pretty okay with that.
They want stuff to kind of make sense with the story. Like, they do want that. They want to keep putting out Hyrule Historia and the timeline and stuff if they didn't care at all. So they do care to a certain extent. But he's also made it very clear in interviews, the priority is not the story. It's building a good game and then building the story around that.
Yeah.
And if you have like split timelines and like a multiverse type thing, it just allows you to do more things.
Marvel does it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they couldn't. Yeah. And that's the absolutely beautiful thing about this is it could go absolutely anywhere. This could go anywhere. But
that's the thing, unlike Marvel, is it's almost kind of works for Zelda because Zelda is just a bunch of different reincarnations of Link and Zelda. It's just a goddess Hylia over and over again.
As old as time, man. Yin and yang.
And the spirit of the hero over and over again. So you can more readily accept a different iteration of Link. That's the reason I hated Wind Waker when it came out so much. I was on that camp that just hated that game. Yeah. Because what I wanted was more Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, that mature tone. Then they showed us that promo of like what the Nintendo GameCube is capable of. And it just looked like Twilight Princess, kind of. It looked like Ocarina of Time meets Twilight Princess with their demo. Yep. And then they're like, surprise, Wind Waker. It's all cute. This is going to go on your, this is going to go on your lunchbox looking GameCube, And it was just like, and in my mind at that time, someone who didn't understand the timeline and the lore and the universe, I was just like, look how you massacred my boy. This is like Link. This is what my boy. Yeah, this is who Link is now, this bug-eyed freak. But now that I know in hindsight, no, it's just one iteration of Link. It works. It's fine. So I think that's the freedom that Zelda has, unlike something like Marvel.
Yeah, and I don't mind the changes. You know what I mean? What I'm afraid of now, hopefully, is that they're not going to create a world and then we get 3 games in that world, and then they create another world, and we get 3 games in that world. I hope they do keep changing it up. I guess you could argue, I know it's Termina as opposed to Hyrule, but that sort of happened in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. The game felt similar-ish, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. But what was nice about that is it took 2 years. It was 1998 and 2000. Now we're getting 6-year splits, and so it's like, there's only so many 6-year waits I can make before I'm dead, Yeah,
exactly. I'm running out of time here.
So I want my traditional Zelda come back. That's why I want multiple parties, is because these take a lot of time, man. These take a lot of time to make. And, we ain't got time is limited. So
maybe I will be happy if they just do that then. Yeah, if they can just pump out more games, it's fine if it's the same world. I take it back.
I mean, that's technically what they're doing with Hyrule Warriors. It's a different team making a totally different game. Why not?
Yeah. Enjoy it. Shut up and enjoy your Zelda. Let's hit some more super chats here real quick. Panda, I got you here. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships from Panda Simone. Ryan, my brother, member for 10 months, says, I'm excited for the Zelda movie. I'm just hoping it's a loader level of greatness. It won't be, but I can dream. Vindicta. Yeah. Everybody here's New Zealand, and they're like, it's gonna be like Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, no, I don't think so.
But see, that's what scares me. Like that's what makes me nervous is like the expectations are like too high. Like we're talking about the greatest movie trilogy in cinema history. Like that's what I think. I think they're the greatest movies I've ever seen. You know, I love Lord of the Rings. Nothing makes me feel emotions and just thrill in a movie as much as Lord of the Rings, and that's what we're setting the bar at. Like that's what we're doing. I'm like, how about we just have a good video game movie? Like, you know, like,
if they go cutesy with this at all, we're screwed. That's what scares me. If they go cutesy with it,
you should have kept it animated if you were going to go cutesy.
Yeah, you're almost forcing yourself into a darker tone by going live action. 100%. Yeah. As long as we get Beetle, I'll be happy. We just need Beetle and Tingle. Give me Beetle and Tingle.
I love Tingle.
Anjanette, member for 11 months. You're coming up on a year, Anjanette. Says, hail Sir Wing, Johnny, after 1 a.m. So sleep lurking from Anjanette. Good to see you, Anjanette. Hope you're having a wonderful day and get some rest. Lean back for 10 says the director previously worked with Weta. Ooh, that's another tie to Lord of the Rings. There you go. VFX for Maze Runner. So I hope the movie uses them again since they're so well established in New Zealand. Big sets, practical effects. You would be retarded not to use Weta if you had the ability.
We were just at Weta workshops, like at headquarters and everything, because we went there for our honeymoon.
Really?
Yeah, we went to New Zealand.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was awesome. I was financially recovering for a while after that.
Yeah,
trip.
I can imagine.
But it was so worth it. But yeah, it was crazy to just look at the detail that Weta put into Lord of the Rings, and now you just see, like, the reliance on CGI and now even AI and garbage like that to make movies. And so if they get Weta involved and like the attention to detail and like the craftsmanship and the costumes and all that. Oh, that'll be such a win for
That
Zelda.
was the thing, man. Like Weta made Middle Earth. New Zealand provided the canvas, but like Weta made Middle Earth real.
All you have to do is look at Lord of the Rings, like the costume design compared to like Rings of Power, and it's just like,
we don't say that. We don't say that here. We don't talk about Rings of Power
ever. Based on the crew they have, I am excited because like Wes Ball, he's done movies with mature tones.
Yeah,
and he knows how to do epic. He just did the last, Planet of the Apes movie, and
there you go.
When you look at it from scale, you're like, okay, I could see this guy doing Zelda.
It needs scale. It absolutely needs scale for sure. Shout out Leanback. Thank you for the 10, brother. Soundwave Superior 21, Jay's favorite name ever. We need some Oracle of Season and Ages love. We were just talking about that in the back. Neither of us have played it.
So that's the thing. So here's the thing. I have so many videos planned for my channel and series that I want to do. I want to rank like everything. I want to do the greatest to worst Kakariko Village, the greatest to worst version of Zelda, like all those things. But in order to do that, you have to play every game. So right now I'm trying to go through every game I haven't played, and those are like two of the few that I haven't done. That and Spirit Tracks. I need to do those because I didn't really have a lot of the portable games growing up. I was a console gamer primarily. And so Oracle Ages and Seasons, those are one of the ones I'm getting to as soon as I can.
All right, I'm going to give you a very easy question. Chat, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Favorite moment in all of Legend of Zelda?
That's easy.
Yeah, super easy. Super easy.
That's way too hard. It's like you could like break them up by like sections, It's like
100%.
What was the favorite time I was scared? What was the favorite time?
You gotta pick one though. Yeah. No, this is all time.
I mean,
I put this post out 4 hours ago. If you need some time to think about it, we can read through some of the other entries.
Do it. I would love that.
Okay. So we'll start here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. From Fifth Down Sports says, favorite Zelda moments are too many to list, but my favorite moment comes from the least popular game, and that was the shadow fight in Adventures of Link. It was iconic and is what made Adventures of Link stand out in its time.
Did you get there without a game genie? Because man, that game
it's tough.
It's so tough. There is a way to cheese that fight though. If you go to the bottom left of the screen and just squat and stab over and over again.
No cheesing.
Yeah, that's you'll take out Dark Link in a matter of minutes.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I'm going out of order here, but holy cow. Mash says, just imagine what a workshop making the Master Sword.
Yes.
I was talking to my brother about this the other day because he's a Lord of the Rings psychopath, like front to back, every book, every word, has all the copies of Tolkien's letters. Like,
that's my wife. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Just an insane person. He was telling me that Weta Workshop actually isn't really what it used to be. It sounds like a lot of the original people left, which scares me a little bit, but I don't know. It's still Weta though, right? You know what I mean? And if they put this out, kid's not eating for a little bit. Sorry, kid.
Even if it has a quarter of the effort that they once had, it's still ahead of any, most
of the other
studios. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
But that's true of many things. Like you talk about any group that was involved in something amazing, obviously I love Metroid too, but Metroid Prime 4 and Retro Studios, like they're making the new Metroid game 18 years later. Like there's a lot of new people involved,
Yeah. Things are changing, man. There's Jesse up here, but I'm going to go down to this one first because I think this one was first. Jesse says, any moment when Link is taking the Master Sword for the first time. I remember Ocarina of Time with the background music inside the Temple of Time. Great memories.
Yes.
You remember just how ethereal the Temple of Time felt the first time you walk in?
Yeah.
And you hear the chanting. I was like, oh,
good.
God, this is cool.
I think that was the thing that like Ocarina of Time did better than any Zelda is the epic scale. Like even that theme, but also like the Great Deku Tree. Like right to start the game, like dun, na, 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 na. It's like wow. This feels this is
epic.
It's epic. And then it starts the Kokiri Forest and everything. You're like, oh, okay, this is fun. Like it was a Hobbit to Mountain Doom type story where it starts out like innocent, but there's still an epic adventure. It's so great. So great.
Yeah, that was a classic intro. All of the stuff, especially like when you turn into Adult Link and you get your teleportation songs, all of those slap so hard, dude. Yeah. The Bolero, Fire, Serenade of Water, those two just like stand out to me as some of like the most incredible. Yeah, I just freaking love them.
I personally think the most epic, though. Sorry, just the most epic for me moment where you get the sword. I thought it was actually a Link to the Past.
Really?
Yeah, like the build up to that was so good because you get like the 3 pendants and you have to go into, the Lost Woods. And then you're picking up a fake sword and a fake sword and a fake sword that you think is a master sword till eventually you get this long hallway through the forest and you get these little animals running by as you lead up to it. You grab the book to translate it and then you pick it up, you see the 3 pendants and it's plays the epic theme. It was like that, like Link to the Past set the tone for so many Zelda games after it. It was so good. So good.
I was kind of maybe this is a hot take. I was kind of let down by the Master Sword retrieval in Breath of the Wild. Because it was like, the journey to it was super cool through Lost Woods. I liked going through Lost Woods, but then you finally get there. And I think when I found it the first time, I already had the hearts required.
Sure.
And so I was like, oh my God, there it is. And my heart started running down and then he picks it up and it's like, good job. And I'm like,
I think that's what's kind of brutal about like a lot of the modern Zelda games is because people are going through at different paces. Sometimes it doesn't have the proper lead up because you did things out of order. Like that's not how I experienced it. I went and figured out my way through the Lost Woods and all that. And then I was like, crap, I don't have enough hearts. And so now like I have to go
you have a montage.
And then exactly. And then when I get back there and do it, it felt earned. And so I totally get what you're saying. I get why it didn't feel as satisfying.
I didn't know any of that stuff was there, obviously, because I like to do the same thing. I go 100% dark. And so I saw that stuff up there. And when you walk in, you're like, oh, this is their take on the Lost Woods. Awesome. And then when it opened to the forest, that was like almost got misty. I'm like, oh my God, it's a great Deku Tree. It's just like psyched out of my mind. And I'm like, oh my God, there's the Master Sword.
Yeah. Did you like the Great Deku Tree in Breath of the Wild, though? I couldn't stand his voice for some reason. He's just, I don't know. I always pictured like a deeper, more gravelly voice, and less like I'm just a pleasant old grandpa. Like it was a little too soft for me. I was like, this is not the vibe I got in Ocarina of Time. Like
100%. Yeah, Ocarina of Time. You got like Ian McKellen. Hello and welcome to my forest.
Either that or like like I don't know, like other like Liam Neeson or something. Like it's just gonna have like
exactly.
a very like distinct voice. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a nice callback. Like I said, it kind of bummed me out. Part of it almost felt like a little bit of an afterthought. I don't know.
Sure.
But I loved going back to it. Freddie Yankoba says the first introduction to Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time. Yes. That was epic for me. Also, when you have to catch those silly chickens in Kakariko, fun times. Those chickens. I think everybody went nuclear on the chickens and then found out. I love that they added that to the game. The chicken mob in Kakariko.
Yep.
Yeah. Noble Spitfire, what's up? Says intro to Wind Waker with its iconic retelling of OOT is great. Putting on the fierce deity mask for the first time, all the comedic moments in OOT, escaping out of Lon Lon Ranch with Epona. There are so many good moments. Yeah, absolutely. Escapo says all-time favorite is the Japanese Link to the Past dance-off commercial. What?
Yeah, you haven't seen that?
No.
I don't know if you want to see it.
I absolutely want to see it. Japanese Link to the Past commercial. Oh, this is going to be great. Oh, no, it looks so bad. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
What I was saying.
Probably not going to get copyrighted, probably, right?
I don't think so. It's probably old enough. You're fine. How long is this ad?
Not long enough. Oh, yeah. This is incredible. It's Ganon. I am so mad I've never seen that before.
That just like showed the differences in our personalities. I'm like dying, like they stop, and you're like, please, more, don't stop.
That was incredible.
Dude. Well, one thing I liked about that commercial is it based on the props and like the lighting and everything, and the Asian flair and all that.
Oh yeah,
it actually reminded me of Big Trouble in Little China at some moments.
Totally,
like,
yeah. It's got that same like Super Mario Brothers movie, like yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. I can't believe I've never seen that before. I feel like a fake fan right now. That is incredible. Okay, have you come up with your answer?
I hate just like I'm trying not to talk about the same freaking Zelda game over and over again, but like I think it's Ocarina, dude. I think. The final boss fight, I think when Ganon, the castle collapses on him, and then he goes in beast mode. And and then the music just like swells at just the right time, and Navi's like, I'm not leaving your side. And he's just let's get into it. It's so good. It's so good. And like the lightning and the ring of fire and everything. Yeah. And it's like so dark and like dramatic that you almost like can't even see what's going on. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, that was the boss fight that defined a generation. Absolutely.
And then I'll throw in one bonus one. Every single time I get on the ocean and start sailing the first time on
yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
It just sounds like freedom, dude.
Yeah, the world is in front of you.
Oh, it's beautiful. And like it's so funny that like some people hate the sailing in that game. Like
what?
I look for because some people see it as like monotonous and like time consuming. I'm sure there's even some people in the chat that feel that way. I'm not saying you're wrong, but to me, you're horribly
somebody
wrong.
In the chat say that so I can ban you immediately.
I look for excuses. I'm like, oh well, I forgot this thing. I guess I have to go from this corner to this corner. Yeah. I'm so happy. Yeah. Just let my controller sit there while I sail. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, that's a solid one. I think I have two as well. And believe it or not, Ocarina isn't one of them. My two favorite is the ending of Skyward Sword when you leave Impa. So you first you find out it's Impa, right? The whole Gate of Time scene, everything there, where you basically find out like that was the definition of the hero versus holy crap, I can't remember his name right now.
Demise.
Thank you, Demise. The hero and Demise, the yin and yang, where it really defines that like this is cyclical. It's happened now. It happened before. It's going to happen again. Like this is eternity. That was so awesome, and the music there was absolutely incredible. And then my honorable mention, just because it was so epic to me, was the March of the Giants in the end of Ocarina of Time. When you play the Giants theme and they all come from their different corners of the map that you've conquered and they lift up the moon. I was like,
Majora's Mask. You mixed them up.
Yeah.
What did I say? You said Ocarina, but that's Majora's Mask.
Sorry. Yeah, Majora's.
Yeah. No.
When you're on top of the clock tower. Oh man,
those are
just incredible.
Yeah, those are really good choices. But I could nerd about some of them. When you were describing like so many of them, I could nerd out about. But when you were describing Skyward Sword, I thought of another reason why Skyward Sword's S tier. I think that's the most emotionally gripping Zelda game.
100%.
Because if you think about like they really do a good job to make you like Link and Zelda are in love, like 100%, you know. Yep. And so they get you invested in that relationship. And like Link actually emotes in that one a lot more than he does in, I think even better than he does in Breath of the Wild, because he's kind of just a plank of wood sometimes, you know, in the more recent games. But he really expresses frustration, excitement. Like there's that meme where he's just like, you know, like shocked and caught off guard when he finds out Zelda's a goddess, like, you know. And then like one of the moments I just loved, it was such a subtle moment, is like when Impa just really lays into him, letting you know, like, and it doesn't matter how fast you go. She's going to say this every time, but like you failed. You took too long. You didn't get here fast enough. Like if we're going to do this, you have to step up and like accept your responsibility. And it was just like, man, and Link's just like sitting there, like disappointed with it. And I'm sitting there feeling like, I'm like, man, I screwed up. Like, crap. Like, you know, like, I just love the emotion of that game and the roller coaster that it is. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't have like a lot of complaints for that game. There's a couple draggy spots and everything, but even like the comedy in that, even though it's super cheesy, like all the Groose stuff and him being in love with Zelda and then like turning around in the end and he winds up being like your homie, you know, it's just all that stuff. I just freaking love it, man.
My biggest complaint is actually the boss fights. I think the boss fights are kind of lame on that one for the most part. Like one of my favorite. You have
to do the directional attacks and stuff.
Somewhat, but sometimes it's just the art design. Like the Sand Ship Temple. Yeah, it's one of my favorite temples of all time. The music is incredible. Sometimes I'll listen to that in the background when I'm just like writing scripts, doing work and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
absolutely love that temple, but the boss sucks. You're ready to fight something like the Kraken, and you fight this stupid, big-eyed, like obese, like octopus person thing,
or like funky chicken Demise, where you have to hit his toes and stuff. You're like, what? Yeah,
it looked like something you would see out of Bikini Bottom, like not in a Zelda game. I was like, what is this creature I'm fighting? This should have been way more epic. I was ready to fight the Kraken. Like, what is this? Like,
I think that's my biggest pet peeve, actually, is probably the repeating Demise Godzilla funky chicken toe fight that you have to do running up the hill. That one does bum me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because not only is it redundant, but like you gotta like destroy his toenails. Like,
seriously. It's not super epic.
What are we doing here? And like that is the origin form. That's the origin form of like Satan, Demise. Like come on, man. Like seriously.
Which is a shame too, because when you finally get to the end, and you fight Demise, you're like, holy crap, this guy's epic, dude. Yeah, super epic.
Well, we saw him in his infant form, and it was a joke.
Yeah. Makes it a little hard to back up. Okay. I have a tier list. I don't know if you want to do it. Chat, feel free to join in on this. I feel like some of the best bosses of all time were Ocarina of Time bosses. The breadth and depth and variety of bosses in Ocarina of Time was just spectacular. I kind of feel the same about Majora's Mask too. What's your favorite boss out of all of them? Do you have one?
Well, obviously for the same climactic ending, I definitely like Beast Form Ganon in Ocarina of Time. There's even some in A Link to the Past I really like too. Shoot. It was kind of a silly, gimmicky one, but I really like the one where you're on the spinner in Twilight Princess, and you got to jump back and forth, and you got to take out the skeletal. Like, that is so cool. Like, it's so tacky, but it's so awesome. Like, man, I love that.
I kind of feel the same way. I have like a super tacky favorite boss. It was the bull in Majora's Mask when you got to do the Goron roll.
Yeah,
and take him out. I love that boss, and I tell people that, and you're like, "So you're retarded?" I'm like, "No, I love it." It's a great boss.
I went through Majora's Mask again fairly recently, and when my wife said when we did that, it reminded me of the one I mentioned where you're on the spinner, because it's just such a unique, like, it doesn't feel like Zelda,
it's
but
weird.
It's so freaking fun though. It's so fun.
Yeah. The whole Goron arc in Majora's Mask was like S tier to me. I just love it. I love it. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
But we got to rank. Hold on. I got to freaking redo this. Here we go. We're going to rank Ocarina of Time bosses. And please, chat, feel free to jump in whenever you want. And we're going to start out with water themes. It's Morpha versus, what was that thing called in Jabby Jabby's Billy? Baronade. Baronade, the anemone.
You're gonna ask me about my least favorite dungeon, maybe ever. Like,
yeah, right off jump.
The funny thing is, actually, Baronade was cooler. Like, Baronade, I feel like that was a more fun boss fight. So, I mean, the boss fight saves it a little bit, but a whole temple, I have to agree. This Billy is kind of ridiculous, but
Jabba Jabba's Belly is like one of my least favorite. And to be totally honest with you, it's the chick that ruins everything. She's awful. Pissed me off, dude. I was like, why am I babysitting right now? She's like, carry me. I don't want to do anything.
I got stuck there too. When I first played Ocarina of Time, I kind of enjoyed it, but the game definitely, like, it just takes off to another level, starting with a forest temple when you become adult Link. And so I actually stopped for like 6 months because I kind of got stuck on Jabu Jabu's Belly, and I just hated that dungeon. Yeah. And then my brother-in-law was like, wait, you haven't beat the game yet? He's like, go back and play it right now. Like, what are you doing? And so I was like, all right, fine. I got through Jabu Jabu's Belly.
You're on the cusp of greatness.
Yeah. And then when it jumps forward in time, I'm like, okay. Now I'm rushing through this because this is incredible. But,
the Forest Temple is like, I think it's regarded as like one of the greatest temples in all of Legend of Zelda. I love the Forest Temple. I think it's
music is peak. Like temple music, the way it's like here, incredibly repetitive, but you don't even care. It's so good. It's so good.
That was an awesome one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Baronade.
Morpha's not even the best one in its own temple. Like the mini boss stole it there. So
I wasn't a fan of Morpha. I have to agree. The boomerang usage, everything with Baronade, awesome. Even though I did not like that temple, I agree. And there you go. Okay, next, I can never Twin Rova versus what's the spider's name? Mogra. Crap. What's the spider's name?
I can't remember. I want to say Mothra, like we're watching Godzilla. Like,
it's freaking Mogra. More. It's gonna kill me.
You screwed me up. I can't do it now. And the funny thing is, you can't sing it over and over again. It keeps coming back in the games. I think Twin Rova back then was like sick. Like with the whole like reflectors and everything, and
fire and ice.
Like that was, I don't know, at the time that felt new. Now it's like that's just like typical like video gaming, like you got to send this beam back at it, sort of thing. So it seems very simple by like modern video game standards, but back then that was so cool. And then the first boss within the Great Deku Tree, like if you do a jump slash with 2 Deku sticks, it's like dead. It's so easy. Like when you first see it on the ceiling and you see its eye roll back and that sort of thing, that's cool. That's like that's really cool. But I think I gotta go Twin Rova.
So this is good because we're gonna get chat involved, because I'm gonna push back and I'm gonna go Goma, because the horror that I experienced at the first boss I ever played in Legend of Zelda. Of course, I'm not like an arachnophobe. I hate spiders, bro. Like, I hate them. And that thing starts laying eggs and starts pooping little baby gomas out. I'm like, oh my God, no, this is not happening. So let's do this. Let's poll. Let's poll in the chat.
Have them determine it.
Yep. 100%. If I can remember how to even do this, I think I have to pull up my stream. Good for me for not being prepared.
You're right, though. It's like I feel like Goma hasn't aged as well, just because it's like so easy now that it's just
Right.
like you get it done with. But you're right. Like that first time was crazy.
It's your this is your entrance to boss fighting, and well, for me, for boss fighting in the Legend of Zelda. Okay, let's put
23 is number one. Yay, I figured it out. 23 is number one. Oh my god.
Oh god. Kill it before it lays eggs. Here we go. Okay, poll. Finally. Holy cow. I haven't used StreamYards in forever, so this is just weird to me. Okay, Goma or Twinrova. Is that how you spell it?
I don't see
Twinrova. Yes. Okay. Better boss. Start poll.
That's a good battle too.
We'll get these going pretty quick too. We'll wait for I don't know, 20 votes or something like that. Join in and put your votes in.
I'm gonna sway the vote.
Where do we go? We got a super chat here. Oh, we have a couple super chats. Let's hit that while we're waiting.
Twin Roka, like Almond Roka.
I put Twin Roka.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not mean to do that. Twin Roka. Yeah. C is next to the V. Sorry. Twin Rova.
There you
Not Amin Roka. Apologies. Who do we got here? Hoodblade. Yes, I meant to actually grab you in chat. Said DM'd you on Discord about voice acting if you're down. 100%. I'm always down. Always down. So I will check Discord. I was actually talking about Beardo. I was talking to that with. I can't talk right now. I was talking to Beardo about that this morning. So I'll check that out. Mash for Two says, "Oh, we got that one. Just imagine what a workshop making a Master Sword. What do you think that would go for? Like $400, 350 maybe?
I feel like more than that. I mean,
Think so?
Oh yeah. Because well, I mean, they merchandise those things and sell their swords and all that. We saw a lot of those from like Lord of the Rings when we were there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it'd have to be even more because Nintendo did their Master Sword replica. And don't tell Krista I said this because she has one. So hopefully she's not in the chat in this instance. But I'm not a big fan of it. Like I just felt like for $200, I expected the quality to look a little bit better. I wanted
it's kind of clunky, like toyish.
It looks a little too toyish. I don't know what materials it's made of, but I don't see that, and I'm not like, oh, that's like an actual sword or close to it. Obviously, it's not going to be like ridiculously sharp because kids are going to want it, but like, it's still like the materials it was made of and stuff. I was like, for $200, I find that a little disappointing. So, yeah, if Weta makes a really solid one that's like almost just like a real sword, oh yeah, it's got to be marked up quite a bit from that.
I think $600 would be like my max for that.
Yeah,
I'd probably pay $600 for a decent one because I mean I make swords, like stuff takes a minute. They're gonna do stock removal, which is a little different, but still, if you're mass producing something. Caroline for a $9.99. Caroline says, I am cautiously optimistic for the movie. Nintendo dodged the Hunter Schafer landmine. Dude, I don't even like kudos Nintendo. I don't even think they looked at it. They're like, nah.
That was a non-story. I mean, it was
that was a Twitter story.
Well, they can't put it out. Like he was just trying to get the job. So yeah, that's all it was. So.
Yeah, gross. Caroline for $9.99. Cautiously optimistic for the movie. Nintendo dodged the Hunter Schafer landmine. Hopefully they're learning from Marvel's missteps. I think Japanese companies in general, just like I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to get involved with all the crap that all the Americans are mad about just to make a statement. I think they're more interested in putting out a quality product more than anything.
Yeah, and Krista made a great point about it too when she said like Miyamoto has only got so much time left. I mean, like 70s and everything. He's probably envisioned this in his mind for so long. He probably know the exact kind of like Zelda and Link he wanted to have in a movie like 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah. And it wasn't a Transformer.
Highly doubt.
Yeah. Matt Cave Gaming with a 10. My brother says, I got a Zelda game no one ever mentions. The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest in the Nintendo Land game on Wii U. Best mini game in that game.
Yeah.
I've got another obscure one. Do you remember crossbow training?
I knew you were going to mention that one. Yeah, it's a good one as well.
The direct sequel to Twilight Princess, crossbow training.
Well, yeah, wasn't I've heard so many rumors about like what Twilight Princess was originally supposed to be, and then they're like, "Fine, everybody's so mad about Wind Waker, we'll make a whole game."
Yep. Yeah, I had heard they were supposed to make a sequel, and then basically that like Wii Zapper or whatever the hell it was like the gun shaped thing you put the Wiimotes in, that came out, and they're like, make something for this. Yeah. And so they're like, all right. And they reused the assets and made crossbow training, which was fun, by the way. Like, don't get me wrong, but maybe not exactly what I was hoping for.
I hate it when you make like a tier list or like a rankings video or something like that, and those games exist. So people always have to be like, "Where's Link's crossbow training?"
Yeah,
like,
what about this one?
I was ranking all the Metroid Prime games recently, and somebody was like, "You didn't even mention Metroid Prime Pinball." It's like,
oh, come on.
Really?
We're talking about mainline entries here. Mainline entries.
Come on now.
Oh, geez. Lean Back with a 2 says, Bongo Bongo creep me the hell out. I love the Bongo Bongo fight, dude. I love the Bongo Bongo fight.
I'm sorry, Chad. I'm gonna piss people off. I do every time I mention it. I don't know. I don't get the Bongo Bongo hype.
It was very simplistic.
I felt like it was a tacky like character design for something that was like the scariest temple maybe ever. Like
the boss does not match the temple. I will give you that.
Yeah, because that temple was like, I was ready to fight like a Grim Reaper or something based on what the temple looked like.
An incarnation of death.
Yeah, there was just like, I mean, you fight the mini boss, in the well and stuff, you dead hand leading up to that and all that. And then there's literally like posts with chains hanging down with puddles of blood. Like there's torture areas in there.
Yeah.
There's skulls imagery everywhere.
It was horrifying.
I was ready for something dark and scary, not weird. Like it just got weird. Yeah, it's just so weird, dude. And so I wasn't like the fight itself's kind of fun, but like I don't know. At the moment, I was kind of disappointed, and now I hear everybody act like it's the best boss or one of the select few best boss from the game. I'm like, I just don't see it.
I think there was a little bit of fondness in my heart from the hand at the time from Super Smash Bros. And it just reminded me of that. You know what I mean? The final boss from the hand. So here we go. There it is with 39, almost 40 votes in here. Goma wins out barely 54-46.
You made a better argument. There you go.
Goma. Okay. Really?
Ganondorf's good, man. Yeah.
Do we need to have a conversation here? I mean...
Dodongo was like, it was super basic and straightforward, and then you just have to like just be hovering on the ledge like right next to the lava just to avoid him. It was so simple.
Throw a bomb in his mouth, good to go.
Yeah, and it was so funny because like he like spawns from the lava, but then he dies in the lava. Which is like,
it kills him in the end. You're like, wait, what?
It's so weird. But yeah, no, Ganon was epic. Even if it's just his first phase, that was the music was great. The punch down, the dead man,
the Mario tennis.
So yeah.
Like 40.
And then when he charges up his big swirly one, and you're just like, wait a minute, what's this? I'm not ready for this one. It's so good.
Yep. So speak of the devil, and he should appear. There you go. I'm gonna side with you on this one, even though I love this boss fight. You gotta go Piggy Wiggly. Wiggly for sure.
Beast form Ganon. Absolutely.
I'm assuming that's where you're going as well, judging by our last conversation.
Yeah. But again, it was so funny because like a lot of my expectations going to Ocarina of Time were set by Link to the Past. And so based on the fact that he was a big beastly pig, even in like, in the Nintendo Power magazines, because I had those comics. And so I was reading those comments and he was this big beastly pig. Yeah. And so when he was just like this, tall
man,
man with an extremely large nose, I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I remember him as a beast. So when he became that beast, I was like, okay, this is way more satisfying. This is what
he's just a Vo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one, an enemy or Goma.
I think I have to go with Goma because I'm going with Goma over Baronade because I think it's an atmosphere thing. Like I hate that freaking temple so much. And the boss is fun, but Goma just fit the, inside the Deku tree and the vibe and the darkness and the laying eggs and everything. Yeah, I'm going with Goma for sure.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you. I was thinking Baronade, but even chat's like, yeah, it's got to be Goma. I think I have to agree. Goma's just like one of my absolute favorites. Man, Baronade, sucks to see it go.
It is a fun fight though, because like the boomerang's fun to use, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's so satisfying about
Boomerang's
it.
awesome.
Timing it and everything. Yeah, it's really fun.
I think it's like the dichotomy of having to use the bow versus the boomerang, because you don't have to do crap with the boomerang. You Z-target and throw that thing. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's really cool. Okay, here you go. Ganondorf or Ganon?
I think just because of like the climax of it all, I think I'm going beast mode, but like I can make an argument either way. Like I definitely think from like a battle standpoint, the base form of Ganon, there's a lot more to it, you know, with the dead man's volley,
right,
with the being knocked off the cliff and climbing back down, with the, you know, different like platforms falling around you, and then he has several different moves and variations that he could do. With this final form, you just kind of have to smack his tail over and over again, so it's pretty straightforward. But I just feel like the climax is so good of his final form that I think that one just edges out for me.
All right, we're gonna pull because I think, like you said, there's an argument to be made for both here. I think Ganondorf is the more intricate boss fight, but the epic finale fighting Ganon is just like.
But even Ganondorf had some of that as well, when he's like freaking playing, you know, his piano as you're like spiraling up to the top and you hear the music getting louder.
Yeah.
Man, that game knew how to like build it up, man. It was good.
Ooh, wow. Ganon's winning by a lot to start us off here.
Biggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly.
It's just that atmosphere, man. You got the thunderstorms going in the background, the castle laying in waste. Zelda's waiting for you with the Master Sword behind a wall of fire, like a ring of fire that you're trapped in with this beast. And the music's so good. And Navi the first time says, "I'm scared. You got to do this on your own." But the second time, no, we're doing this together. You're like, it's about time I'm starting to like you, Navi. Let's go.
Okay, serious question, though, while we're waiting for this to come through, although we've already gotten to the necessary amount of votes. Ganon, Piggy Wiggly in Breath.
And Breath of the Wild?
Happy or disappointed?
Character design, happy. Actual fight, incredibly disappointed. He just sits there, bro.
Yeah.
He literally just sits there and like waits for you to like ride around him and just like shoot at him.
Shoot him in the ribs. Why not?
Just doesn't, like the fact that Spider Ganon, Calamity Ganon, you know, like in his spider form, which I thought that was kind of tacky. It was kind of cool, but kind of tacky. That one is so much harder than his final phase, which I don't 100%. Think video games shouldn't work that way. Like that beast form out in Hyrule Field, I should have felt like I earned it more, but because he just sat there and wait for me to shoot him with the light bow, it didn't feel earned.
I agree. So that's where I feel like Tears of the Kingdom did a little better with like dragon form versus the pig that just sits there and waits for you to shoot it. Like you have one of my favorite things in the world is horseback combat. Yeah. And you have this amazing opportunity with this giant Piggly Wiggly out in Hyrule Field, all the room you could ever ask for. And you pick up a bow and it's Link's crossbow training. Like it's a little gimmicky.
For
you know what I mean though?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And she left like Zelda had one of the best lines ever in like Zelda history to build up that moment where she's like, something about like courage is never forgotten. I forget how the line goes, but it was like so good. You're like, let's do this. And then
this is it, boys.
Yeah, it was epic, dude. Oh, so good. And then it was just so easy. But I have like no complaints at all with how Tears of the Kingdom ended. Mm-hmm. The descent further and further into the depths as the music floods, and then the fight with Ganondorf and like, you know, the bullet time sequences and the way to pull it up where you see his health bar and it just keeps going.
Yep. Yeah.
It's so good in all the different phases. And I
was a big fan of the bullet time back and forth, like
this is
epic, dude.
You've been doing that throughout the 2 games leading up to that moment, and now you're like, somebody's doing it back. Like, oh no,
I didn't know he could do that. I thought that was a me thing.
Yeah, no, the finale was peak. Like, and I knew he was gonna eat the stone. Like, that was obvious. I'm like, this is gonna end with him being a dragon, but it was still awesome when it happened. So
yeah, agreed. There you go. So almost 40 votes. Piggly Wiggly wins out 55-45. Chat, I agree with you. I think that is the correct choice. I just feel like this is not fair.
how did we get to this? Oh, bro. Okay, I thought you were missing one. There's a whole nother. There's
only one on the other side, but yeah. So it's
so
gonna
that's
be
just the finals. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a question for me.
Beast Ganon, yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna
those are a couple of the best boss fights, though, if you ask me.
I agree. So Forest Temple, and then what is this guy's name?
Volvagia.
I always called it the vagina.
Shadow Ganon and Volvagia.
Volvagia.
You know what I like about Volvagia is it was a fun fight, but I like the setup to the fight. Even before you get in the fire temple, they're hyping up this boss and telling you it's eating Gorons and that sort of thing. Like, Volvagia, the build up to it,
hammer.
Yeah, it felt like a big deal, dude. And that boss was one of the low key. Like, I get it's all easy to us probably now because we've all done it a million times, but that was one of the harder boss fights back in the day because the rocks falling from the ceiling would take 4 hearts and stuff. And it was
dude, they would crush you. Yeah.
So that was one of the harder fights, but I don't know. Shadow Ganon's good too, with all the different portraits and stuff. And you have to figure out where he's come from. I'm always a sucker for the crossbow too. For the bow and arrow, if I get to use that
boss infuriated me because I could never turn quick enough to find out where it was coming from. And I'm like, that stupid painting. I hate you. You just get run over. It was a great boss fight. The whole Forest Temple was incredible.
Okay, I'm actually going to go with Shadow Ganon. If you go with Volvagia, the chat will have to decide it. So
I already have a poll up. Yeah. So I love the Shadow Ganon fight. Like I said, the Forest Temple is absolutely incredible. I love that boss. I hate that boss.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, 100%. Well, it was also so cool because it was it was so unexpected. You just start the second half of the game, or what feels like the second half, technically. There's more in adult phase, but you're starting the next chapter of the game and you're just getting into it. You just finished up the Forest Temple and I'm fighting Ganon.
It's the final boss. Yeah. You're like, what?
So that was just a really cool, exciting surprise too.
Yeah. And, it was a big setup for things to come. And I think, from a writing standpoint, it was an incredible way to remind you, this dude's out there. He can kill you in a heartbeat. He's hunting for you. And you barely got out of there. You know what I mean? And by the way, that's the first one. Take a look at all those empty slots that you've got a long way to go, partner.
Yeah.
Man, Shadow Ganon's crushing right now. Well, I would call that a decisive victory, 65-35. Shadow is winning out.
Which is crazy because Volvagia is popular too, but I just feel like that was a 1 seed and a 2 seed going at it,
Yeah, 100%. And I'm actually, a lot of the times when we do these lists, this is the final right here. A lot of the times when you wind up with these lists, you get like you said, a 2 and a 1 at it. This is a great matchup for me for a final. This is a great matchup. So we're going to pull regardless on this one, but
yeah, let's just let chat decide it. I could go either way on this one.
Start a poll. Best Ocarina of Time boss. Piggy Ganon versus Shifty Ganon. Start poll. Man. Here we go. I want to hear an argument. What's your argument here?
There's no atmosphere better than the Forest Temple, but there's no climax, maybe in any game ever, except maybe Halo 3. That's better than oh my God, Ocarina of Time. It's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
I can agree. I think so that's where my vote goes. It's going Ganon just because when you think you've defeated the final boss, you're like, dude, it's over, man. We made it. And this behemoth pops up. You're like, I can't kill that thing. Are you kidding
Well, that
me?
was the other thing. Like the scale of him was like huge. Like there's a lot of, because you had fought like his regular form and all that. And like now it's like, now they could do so much with video games where bosses are gigantic, but fighting a beast Ganon with his swords that are ridiculously long, where he's taking up like 2/3 of the screen. He's so massive. Like that's epic, dude. Yeah, I'm going real Ganon.
Ganon. Okay. What do we have here for the vote? All right. We're going to wait for 5 more votes. We'll end it at 30, but it's 60-40. Piggy's winning out right now. And I think that's the right one. But I'm proud of Shadow for having as many votes as he does, because I think that is a killer boss.
Yeah. That's a darn near perfect temple. Like if you're talking about, that's to me definitely top 5 temple in all of Zelda, maybe top 3. Like it is so good. Shadow.
I can agree.
Forest Temple. It's my favorite from. It's my favorite from Ocarina for sure.
Yeah. And it was doing things games weren't doing, like weird stuff where you walk down a hallway and it twists and everything gets turned around, and then you turn around and the hallway's straight and you're like, how did they do that? This is magic.
Yeah, to factor that in and shoot the eye several times and I loved. I mean, I knew it was coming because I had played Link to the Past, but when you start hearing the what do you call it, the wall crawler, I forget what it's called, but the hand that just falls from the ceiling.
Oh yes, dude.
Yeah,
and then it's just yanks you out. That's the scariest thing in the world.
Wall Master. I forget what it's called. Chat, you got to help me out. I'm close to it. I know I'm close to it.
What are the hands in the Forest Temple called? They are called, Wall Masters.
Wall Masters, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. They're never like super obvious, you know. You have like a what's a accordion looking enemy? It's a like.
Yeah, a like.
Okay. Some of the names of the enemies are just hilarious, but yeah, no, that was such a good temple. Probably
and there we go. We have it
followed by water, but
man.
I know that's like one of my hot takes, but anyway. So the best boss in all of Ocarina is the final one, huh? We all
Piggy Ganon. That's a good thing, though. I feel like that's right. That means they created the game correctly.
Yes.
That our favorite boss is right at the end. Yeah. So shout out to Ocarina of Time. There you go, Piggy Ganon. That's your number one.
You cannot say the same thing about Breath of the Wild. That's for sure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is Beast Ganon out in the first round in Breath of the Wild? Might be.
And boom. That's what we had, folks. That's what I had. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
We could keep going on forever. I mean, probably next time we do this, I think we should talk about like the scariest Zelda enemies, because we kind of touched on that a little bit. And like when you're talking about like Wall Masters and Dead Hand.
Bro.
Dead Hand was nuts, dude.
Oh my god.
But even like the Guardians and all that, and
yeah.
Oh gosh, like when that creepy music plays and you're like, there's a laser, like a predator laser on you. You're just like, let me get out of inside. Because in the early game, like it's got its laser on you, and it sees out so far.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do.
Open Hyrule fields, you can't move fast enough. One shot to you, like, dude, that was.
I remember the moment when I found out you could use the Hylian shield to bounce it back at him, and I'm like, oh, you're so screwed now. You're so screwed. I'm not afraid anymore. Like, you're going after him.
So good. So yeah, we got to make that one too. That would be a fun. That would be a fun. Just like what scared you the most. Do a whole bracket for that. Oh, that.
Yeah, good. I didn't see one, so maybe we'll have to craft that, and then we'll get chat involved on the next one for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's beautiful, man. This was enjoyable. We've been almost 2 hours. We got out of the first ever Zeltalk. I've enjoyed it immensely. Chat, you guys are awesome. I can't believe there was like 150 people in here hanging out, watching the show. Absolutely beautiful. Before we close out, what do you got going on? Make sure everyone, by the way, before you head out, Zeltroid's link is down in the description below. Just starting out on an awesome Legend of Zelda and Metroid Prime, or just Metroid channel.
Yeah. Yep.
So get over there, subscribe, show the boys some love, and then what do you got going on?
Yeah, so you should check out my videos if you're interested in Metroid, on the story of Metroid Prime 2. That's very good. But since we're all Zelda fans here, the very next video I should be putting out, other than a chopped up version of this, I'm going to make why Skyward Sword is S tier. And I just really unpacking it, going to have obviously all the wonderful Skyward Sword, but really just dissect it and try to articulate what makes that game special and why it's so misunderstood.
I love it. I'm looking forward to that one. Oh, there was one question I wanted to ask that we didn't. Okay, hold on. There's a question I want to ask when it comes to a casting.
Can I ask a question to the minorities here?
Who would you cast as Ganondorf?
Someone he's got to be dark skinned. I think he's Gerudo. He's Gerudo.
Yeah, he's a Gerudo. Yeah.
So I would think either Ocarina of Time had Hispanic flavor to their Gerudo, but ever since then, right. We've all seen it. The terminal montage video, so good. But
yes.
But ever since then, it's been more like Middle Eastern, Arabian type vibes to it. So I'm hoping that they go more, people have said like Idris Elba or something. I don't picture him black. I picture him more like, someone from the Middle East sort of thing. So we'll see. I don't know if I have a good role for it. He's got to be tall, dark, intimidating, deep voice. I don't know. Have you got somebody? I could throw names out there, but I don't feel good about any of them who comes to mind, to be honest.
I do, and it came to me this morning as I was sitting there and I was watching the original Iron Man again.
Ooh,
the guy the guy from Iron Man that gets his face messed up in the beginning.
Interesting.
I don't remember his name, and I'm trying to find him, and I don't freaking see him anywhere.
Well, because they were setting it up in the first Iron Man movie. Like, he felt like he was going to be an intimidating villain. And then obviously the real villain of the movie turns out to be his friend, who's friend.
Stain.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1 terrorist. What was his name? Here, I'll just pull up a picture of him. I thought he would be a magnificent Ganondorf. Share screen. Boom.
When you think of Ganondorf, yeah, that's pretty good, dude.
Isn't that good?
That's pretty good, dude. Yeah. So when you think of Ganondorf, like, and I'm not talking about within Zelda lore, but like as far as like the stature of a man, like how old do you picture him being? Like what would be the appropriate age ideally? I know you like this actor, but like, what do you think you would be aiming for just theoretically from an age standpoint? Like, are we talking a 30, 40, 50-year-old man for Ganondorf?
I think it's tough because like different races show age differently. I think I would probably want to see like late 30s. I think that's probably where I'd put him. I think in my mind, like when you think about Ocarina of Time, I see like a Ganondorf that's like kind of like late 20s almost. Yeah. But as it's progressed, and then you look at like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that's where I start to see more of like a mid to late 30s Ganondorf.
Yeah. Yeah, I would maybe even say 40s for me, but yeah, I wouldn't want him to be too old, just because like I just don't want it to feel like you meddling kids type situation. Like I want him to be
right,
not like a grandpa. Yeah, I want him to be a warrior who's dealing with these annoying children, but I don't want it to be like he's the grandpa villain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you damn kids.
I don't know. That's pretty good though, too. Like I can say, you picked a good photo too. Like,
I
he
think
looks pissed. He's looking at young Link right now, like he's
100%. Yeah, you insolent child. I don't know his name though. I can't find his name.
Well, when did that movie come out? We're looking at a photo of him from 2008, right? Like,
yeah,
he might be that grandpa villain though now.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, so his name was Raza in Iron Man. Oh no. What is your freaking name, bro? Who played Raza? Who played Raza in Iron Man? Here we go. We're gonna get a name. Farhan Tahir. Okay, so Farhan Tahir today. Maybe that'll work. All right, let's take a look. We can switch this, share this tab instead. That could work.
I think he's fine. I mean, I don't know if we want him to keep the beard. No, he's still in great shape too. That still works. No, that still works. Bro, I'm telling you, he's a little bit older there.
Yeah, he does look a little older. I think it's I don't know, dude. He could do it. He could kill it.
It's not the worst choice. I've heard some terrible suggestions.
Like
again, I just think I wouldn't be surprised. Like, there you go, Johnny. He's dark.
Yeah, sure.
Peter Pascal in there.
Got a weird nose. Go for it.
Nah, I'm excited to see who they come up with. I think it's probably going to be like another no name. We'll see.
I hope so. It absolutely should be for sure.
Which was kind of the surprising thing about the Zelda and Link casting is I don't think we were expecting, and I feel like it's offensive to say no names, but people that are generally not well known, because they freaking casted Chris Pratt, like,
yeah,
Keegan Michael be like Jack Black as Bowser, like they were setting up to where, like, all right, I guess Tom Holland's gonna be Link.
Yeah, there you go.
But they surprised us, pleasantly surprised.
I think, that's nothing but a positive for me. Nothing but a positive, because not only that, because they're not using super, well-known people. These folks will probably be very dedicated to the Zelda franchise. This is their big break. And so they'll be involved with those projects moving forward and not distracted by other things, which I think is awesome. So
that's a good point, because somebody who's like a big actor might be like, yeah, I tried this little corny Zelda game I've never played. Video game
Wasn't a fan.
Didn't work out. No big deal. Like, nah, they're going to put their everything into this.
We got 2 more super chats we got to get through. Schick with a 199 says Zelda. Correct. That was what this stream was about. Jose Taco for a 199 says, have you watched Legend? It's basically a Zelda movie. I have not.
I watched it a long time ago. I'm going to watch it again before I watch the Legends of Zelda movie, because like I barely remember it, but like I've heard that.
It's like it's like an 80s or 90s dark fantasy type movie, isn't it?
If that is the one I'm remembering correctly, and I'm pretty sure I am, yes.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, that's all I had for today. Shout out everyone. Thank you for joining us for the first inaugural Zeltalk. I might be doing some gaming later tonight. You got anything else going tonight, tomorrow?
No streaming, but you can expect videos, at the very least once every 3 days. And so, lots of Zelda stuff coming up, especially with Hyrule Warriors 3 coming out. I'll be covering that as well.
Beautiful. All right, that's it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to the chat. You guys are number one, and we will see you on the next Zeltalk.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Friends. You bow to no one.